So the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. From the corners of the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. Back like proverb, microphone, sweet home. Back like battle, cattle, capital O. Faro Gotti flows, nigga killing all shows. Rashid K, a god, yeah, put that on the code. OG to a god, fact checking both. The realest in your click, dog, never come close. Legends on the cut, dog, piece of none cool.
Yo, here we go, here we are on day 3, talking about the evolution of hip hop. And my name is Pastor Salvin, formerly known as Mr. Salvin, a hip hop legend. And we are here at the South African Hip Hop Museum. We are curating these conversations to be able to take you on a journey and to have a peep into the future. So right here, I've got the most prolific people, most influential people who have shaped hip hop in South Africa. Next to me is Tweezy. He needs no introduction. If you're a fan of hip hop, especially going past 10 years, this is the guy who brought us hits and is still at it. And I'd just like you to welcome the audience and just, touch base.
Yeah. Shapuzet Bafetu. How's everybody doing? Yeah, for those that don't know, I go by the name of Tweezy.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, it's so good to be here. It's so good to have this conversation and to just, have this hip hop conversation.
We're talking production and we're talking iconic moments in hip hop, which is 2 forms of production. So over there, we've got my producer extraordinaire from Domestic Violins, Dome, who has produced all 3 of my albums. He has produced for Pro Kid. Sitting here in this chair on Monday was Touchline, who said that there's a song that he produced that made him to consider to being a hip-hop MC. So this is Dome over here, Atiase Sotra. Yeah, big up.
Dumelang Bakhaitsu.
Yeah.
Legai. No, blessed, my chance. Thank you for having us here. Yeah. Thank you, it's a blessing.
And hailing all the way from NYC, I got my girl, Boogie. You need to understand, she's shy. She's sitting here. She's
I'm
like,
shy.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying my best.
But let me explain something. There's a thing called one-time moments. She's a photographer. She's friends with the guys that when we see pictures on their Instagram, she's the one that took their picture. And she's cool with them. From promoters to your Nas, to your Commons, to everybody. She's here. And we're gonna talk about how she has journeyed in, different facets of hip hop. I'm thinking it has changed shape from the way it looks. So she's gonna be telling us her journey, iconic moments, and what it has been since, for you guys is what, 1973?
They say.
Right,
but
right? So over here in South Africa, it's 40 years of hip hop. So we're talking production today. And let's start by, I was speaking to Dome just before we got here. How there's a narrative that hip hop is on a decline. And we're talking industry perspective. And it's always, driven from the angle, either the sound, it is not appealing to the masses, and therefore it goes somewhere hitting DJs to say the sound is right, the DJs are not playing the right songs. And some will say producers are not reading the room right, meaning the season and all that stuff. So therefore hip hop is on a decline. And there's another genre, Amapiano, which is, and we had the same phenomenon. When I was coming in, there was like, Kwaito is dying. And we knew that it didn't die, it just transcended to what we now call Mapiano, because the same flavor is still picked up. But we're talking hip hop, And from a producer's perspective, that kind of conversation, how would you correct either the error or the misunderstanding of whether hip hop is dying or on a decline, and this is it, we are on the last leg? Yeah.
I think just from a music perspective, just generally, like, there's always a transition with sound. There comes a trend that comes and like people just find it to be the in thing right now.
Yeah.
And in whatever space that you're in, you sort of need to adapt and find your creative way to make it live within your culture.
Yeah.
So that's like, even in this period, when you get artists putting the log drum into the beat, you know, that's creative ways of letting hip hop live on even more further.
Yeah.
And I think, depending on the individuals and just the people who are having the discussions, people just need to be more open-minded into adapting. You know, because some people are so locked in into staying, like people are, I don't know what to call it, they're stuck on the old formula and they just cherish it so much and they're just finding it so hard to adapt and move on with the times.
You're saying something about adapting, which is where I'm gonna come through to you, Dom. We come from a certain era, a certain environment. And I think what he's saying that when we chose who we speak to, sound-wise, this is the sound that will speak to this audience. And also when we chose, because of our demographic, because of the environment, how can we be more open-minded now? So just start by giving us a picture of how it was when you started getting into production. What was the atmosphere? What was the feel? And the idea of adaptability now in 2023 going forward.
Okay, in terms of like, look, hip hop, first of all, it's transitional, as you were saying, it's transitional. But then what you need to actually understand is how it's actually being treated. It's treated as a marketing tool for certain products and everything, right? So if you understand the marketing process, then you'll actually understand exactly where we are or where you want to take it. First of all, it started off as a fad. People are gonna forget about it. And then it trended into a style. And then after the style, then it became a fashion. After a fashion, then it became a culture. And then what we need to do is actually try to think about it as a religion. So it's a transitional phase where we are right now, where like it's the culture right now is molding itself like it's like, I don't know, it's like half a century year old, like half a century of hip hop. Come on, guys. Come on. Well, so once we actually understand where things are, like Honano trap is actually like a drug user's music. Straight up, gangster rap was the drug seller's music. So basically, it was a transition. So the drug sellers now made money and everything, and then all of a sudden, now the users are the ones that are making the music. So that's why it's actually falling apart, because like these guys just kill each other for nonsense, and it doesn't make any kind of like economical sense. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's why the recording companies are like falling out of love with the way that hip hop actually is.
Let me tell you a story. About over 20 years ago, from what we would consider to be the beginning of the industry of hip hop, I come from an underground where around the late 90s even, we didn't have an industry, meaning there was the underground scene with no culture of structure. There was no one who was working at the platforms for TV, radio, who is hip hop. So we were called by 4 people, sitting like you are sitting here. And they gave us an agenda. They said, you guys need to give us content. We're gonna start a radio program. We're gonna play your music 24 hours a day. When that picked up, it created branches where in the room, there was someone who started a magazine. In the room, there was someone who would run a record company. In the room, there was someone who would do publishing and PR And by the time we were recording, there was someone who will say, I will do events for you to do the presentation. So all that flooded out nicely. So now to you, Jay, I would like you to touch on the importance of imagery, especially at the early stages or when you were young or when you started, and how important perception of how we see these big artists, and why do you do what you do to be able to make the world have a moment when they express their art. So how important is that imagery?
First of all, I think the history, just collecting the history of it all, so we can look back at everything that happened and where it happened and when it happened. That's really important. So documentation. And as an art form, like, because every photographer has a different view, a different eye. For me, it's like the way I see it, the energy I'm seeing at that moment, whether it's a show at the studio, backstage, just capturing that essence from my eyes and my vibe with their vibe. So I think every photographer, videographer catches a different, you know what I mean? A different vibe, but it's just like kind of like two vibes together.
Tell me,
art.
when you are like backstage and describe the energy that is there. Like you're here, you're about to also get into the element, what you see, what the room feels like, what people don't see, you are there.
I mean, it's lit. Everyone's just having a good time. The energy is always usually really positive, unless there's a knucklehead in the corner, you know what I mean?
As usual.
Sometimes that happens. But for the most part, it's a celebration. You know, everyone's there for the music, for the love. It's like family. It's like a family, or, you know, hip hop's a family thing. So it's really special, it really is.
As we continue to talk, I would like you guys to listen. There's a kid out there who wants to be a photographer. Here's J Boogie. She travels the world. She takes pictures that would be able to be a moment in one time that only she will get the credit of capturing that moment, and how important it is to have that moment captured. And hip hop, I think we have a lot of photographers, we see them here. But yeah, they are here. We need to open the world for them, because if there was one photographer who would have captured, say for example, AKA praying before he gets on stage, that now would be a golden moment.
Yeah.
You understand? And people hear about how great AKA is. Maybe there's someone in Korea who comes across a picture like that, and we know who captured the picture. You understand? So all those things become like they open the world to South Africa, or South Africa to the world. Let's come back to something. There's this thing, I'm a producer now, where you have a limit. Gubangati, at a certain point, producers stop producing. I've got a friend who, like, I'm done. I'm done. And he's not the only person. I think we heard about Dr. Dre having to take some time because there was a point where he was not feeling doing production anymore. That is a very misunderstood phenomenon. Like, what is that about? Where you have produced hits, and then it goes quiet. will.i.am, we don't know whether he's still doing production, but it's quiet. And it seems as if we can understand where we'll give others a chance. But why does this have to stop? Because you came from a certain era and you can continue on. Why is there a cut-off?
I think for one, people have normal lives. You know, at some point it's like, yo, let me go live this life. You know, let me go be with my son, with my daughter. And then I think also at some point from a creative aspect, you know, creating hits or being perceived as a person who creates hits puts you in a compromising situation where there's a certain level of expectation. So it becomes frustrating when you're in the process and you don't really understand the formula to making the hit, because just like we're saying that with sounds and genres and everything that we're doing, everything is transitional and it's a continuous process. So in the process, you just find yourself lost and confused, trying to probably chase the previous glory, or maybe you're still stuck on that formula, but that formula is not really cutting it now. So it's just a continuous trial and error up until just according to how you feel in that moment. At some moments you feel out, you feel like, yo, I want to have a whole year run and be the hit producer. At some point you're like, I just want to go live my life, type thing.
Can I swear?
Yeah, man, just
all right.
It's hip-hop.
I don't
I was
give
scared
a
of
fuck.
that.
Like honestly speaking, like it's called producer's block, right? Whenever like you as you said, expectations. The expectations come in the way of your creativity. And usually those expectations, even if you meet those expectations from the market or from the industry, they be like, oh no, this guy's washed out. This stuff he did last year. And then when you do something very futuristic, it's like, no, this guy is weird. Like those dynamics, that dichotomy of like actually having to create something new, is what I constantly actually have to battle for. It's fine whenever like you have to be alone, and just completely be alone. Listen to the streets, listen to anything else, listen to the wind blow. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what actually keeps that outside. When you come through to like your Dr. Dre's and everybody, it's like they basically are stagnant simply because of the expectations that the industry actually has on them. You know what I mean?
Just to add to Dome's point, I think what also contributes to the longevity as far as like the time span of your production as a producer or as a creative is being able to block out the noise of just, you have the culture and the creative process, and then there's the consumption process of the people that, consume the...
No, go ahead. We're going to get into that because that's another controversial one.
Cool.
That's another... Jay Boogie, please tell me. I know there could have been a lot of iconic moments, especially having to travel the world. Also here, since you've been here, you've met our brother Osmic. What has been the beauty in what you have experienced throughout this journey? And also, what can we say about the future of the importance of capturing moments? But I'm thinking, do you know the Source magazine? You remember the last page? It used to have a comic strip.
Andre L. Davis.
Yeah,
The illustrator.
she knows the guy who used to do that comic strip. So that comic strip was a moment in time. There was something special about having to read the last page. So you go through all these pictures, the stories, and then you get to that page. It just mocks the beauty of it. So I'm asking this question based on those kind of things, like iconic, moments that you would have remember or captured in your journey. Yourself.
I would have to say a lot of the really iconic moments that I'm now is dear to my heart are the artists that have passed away. So the people that I've shot, and they've passed away, and I can remember like that time when they were performing or in the studio, like DMX, Biz Markie, Fight Dog.
Amen.
Just a lot. Rest in peace to all these legends and artists and just amazing human beings. But those lie dear to my heart because it's like memories of someone that's still here with us spiritually, but not in the physical. So to me, that's been really important.
You know, I think you play a very important, as you're speaking like this, here at the museum as well, we have spaces where we're going to be telling stories of, you see this moment, this is what happened. I heard Big Daddy Kane on Drink Champs saying when Tupac had to release Hit 'Em Up, it was over a phone call with part of the Thug Life crew. I don't know whether it was Hussein or one of those guys who came and told him like, yo, this and that about Biggie. And he saw Tupac's face change. And they were supposed to be recording a song in the studio. They were not recording that song anymore. And he went and he just wrote that song right on the spot. In no time, the song came out. That is a moment that Big Daddy Kane will say, I was there, I saw how it came out. Not far from here, there's an apartheid, for the museum. And there are pictures that tell you this was during the court case when Mandela was being accused or sentenced to go for 27 years. And someone who was not there will hear about this and try to imagine, wow, this is truly what happened. You play, I think, a vital role in capturing these moments. I suggest that you go check J Boogie on Instagram and see the kind of work that she does. And she does it out of love. It's not out of, like magazine type where it is branded or there's an agenda. Just out of love, and just see how those moments are captured. So I'm just giving you your flowers in a sense that
Thank you.
Yes. I've only met you yesterday or on Monday.
Yeah.
But already I sense the kind of role that you play. And we'd like you to tell us a little bit more about this whole beautiful thing. Back to production though. Do we still have producers who do not do samples? Or what's the, because is that still a debate? Is it still a thing? Or whether it's my piano or whether it is hip hop or whether production in general, the whole spectrum. We in hip hop, we glorify sampling. Who's this guy? CL Smooth says that we take the original song and make it sound better and just put more flavor to it. And that was the beauty of sampling.
Yeah.
But you bring producers, and it being one of the engraved things in hip hop. What is your take on sampling?
Firstly, for me, I think sampling is part of the hip hop culture because that's how the entire genre was born. We take this, we mix it with that, and then it creates a whole new thing. So, in essence, even when people are just trying to imitate, because art imitates life, even if they're just trying to imitate that, there's no ways we can kill sampling because in one way or another, we'll always find ourselves going into the history as points of reference. And personally for me, I'm a heavy sampler because, you always have to get inspiration from somewhere. And the inspiration, especially in times where you don't know which way to go, as far as now, what direction am I taking creatively? So, we get a point of reference, get some inspiration, the inspiration gives you a direction, which, okay, cool. Kind of like how, what happened in 2014 when SA Hip Hop was taking the whole Kwaito direction. You had people, even if they trapping or whatever the case is, but they came with the Kwaito element, type thing.
And there's brilliance in the science of sampling as well. I don't know if you've checked, listen to Dome's production. He takes a song, what's the song? I got Pro, Utiningo Pro, Pro with love, the way that you describe to me how you took that sample or what elements you put in to be able to bring that rawness in there. Even the Doc Shebeleza song, Sekele, right? How did you, what was going on in there? Were you on drugs? What was going on?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Jay. The Source magazine made my life. Seriously.
Yeah, you'll be serious.
All of Bobo Five Dog and Fetu, all the things that you mentioned made me actually get into hip hop. That's one thing. The thing when it comes to sampling, right? When it comes to sampling, was that everybody that I knew that was actually a producer was sampling jazz. Yeah. One toll. So there were better people. Everybody was kicking my ass when it came to jazz. Yeah. So I was like, no man, how can I kill these niggas? Yeah. So basically, that's where all of that. It was a battle mentality, which is another thing. It's like sampling, my G. It's like, as you were saying, there has to be a point of reference. Sometimes you can't actually like touch the keys and actually make the note come across. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you always gather it from your history, from how you feel, from the last bash that you came from. One told your nigga just got killed the other day. That song was playing. One told. And now when it comes to Sekele, Sekele, I was actually having a beat battle with Osmic.
Yeah. Okay.
And Adamus and Adamus. There by the original his old store.
Ritual store?
Yeah, Ritual. Got Ritual, yeah. OST, original soundtrack. Yeah. So basically we were three. Just three of us, just beat battling. Wow. Now, Adamus hit, Osmic hit. Yeah. I came up with something else. No, I didn't. I got killed. He hit and then he hit. Yeah. And then I got killed again. Yeah. But then that was like, okay, now cool, I need to kill these niggas with some more. As soon as like I laced it, I was like, no, okay, gents. I put my stick inside there, took it home, and I was like, no, I'm done. You guys win. You guys win. All right. So I went.
There's beauty that I've seen. Like, I'm just making an example. There's always a story with how the beat came about. Do you have a story as to say, something similar to like I was having tea, then I knocked over the cup and it made a certain sound and I happened to record it. And I took that sound, I put it, and it's the one that made this song, and you don't know. Stories like funny things like that. Have you had a song that became a hit, but the way it came out, it was, you wouldn't have thought in a million years.
I think for me, one of the most prolific stories, just as far as my career, is how All Eyes on Me came about. Okay. Because we were in the process of making levels. Yeah. Here I am.
This is AKA, right?
Yes, with AKA. Yeah. So here I am in the process trying to understand what Keenan is about.
Burna Boy.
Trying to understand what he's trying to achieve with the sound. Yeah. And then it got to a point where I read some interviews, watched Vuzu was popping at the time. He used to speak a lot about levels. So eventually, that's where I got the idea that he wants to take like the old records, which is the Mzansi records that are popping, Vele of Brenda's and give it a new twist, especially the dance records, because he was just chasing the nostalgic South African sound. Yeah. So I was about to make this beat, but I was making breakfast first. Okay. So there's Mzansi Music, the channel on DSTV, right? They're playing, it was a Brenda Fassie versus Lebo Mathosa. Yeah. So Lebo Mathosa plays, then Brenda Fassie's Nyaksaba comes on. And for some reason, as it was playing, I was like, yo, that's gonna make a smash hit for AKA. I kid you not. And probably like 2 seconds after I thought this, my phone rang and it was him saying, yo, Mzansi Music, there's a song that's playing right now. And it's Brenda Fassie's. Literally laced the drums, laced the kick, put the sample there in like 10 minutes, and then fast move. And to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was because it happened so quickly and so easily. So for it to become such a smash hit across Africa as well and like internationally, it was like.
And also what I want to do now is add on your question, Khoravela, why do we sampling whatever that whole sample debate? The thing is that sampling essentially, as you said, Khoravela, no, it's part of hip hop simply because like Look, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. In America, they started to take away funding for schools and stuff like that. So music programs were not there. Nothing of that thought was there. So therefore, the kids used to actually have to like, well, when and Cool Herc, he's the guy that actually pioneered the whole thing. Using your own your house's records and everything. You know what I'm saying? So similar to breakdancing, there were no dance studios anymore. The guys put the carpet on the floor and started dancing. There's no instrumentation. Niggas started beatboxing. Like all the things that were taken away from the school, from the kids were taken away, but then the kids still made it happen. So sampling as part of the culture is like what I feel is that the corporatization of hip hop, basically like if that record, if Michael Jackson sample is gonna cost an arm and a leg, one toy, it's gonna cost an arm and a leg simply because of the corporatization of sampling. Whereas in actual fact, sampling actually rejuvenates musical art forms from a long time ago. So if like the corporatization can actually be managed properly, then therefore people from all the generations
I think with what you said, Pete Rock will be happy with you because he did a song called Straighten It Out. Pete Rock from Mecca and the Soul Brother. They did a song talking, the whole song is exactly saying that. Like, why are you crapping on us? Because we took what you did 50 years ago and we're rejuvenating it. And it's supposed to, you know. J Boogie, have you come across any similarities to a story like this picture, the way it came, like you took something that now is revered, like, yo, that's a dope pic that people will remember for days, but how it came about, it was crazy.
Oh my God, it's even hard to pin down.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to so many events and concerts, and it's like, honestly, my closest recollection is just August in New York.
Yeah.
Hip Hop 50 New York, August. There was an event every night, if not 2 to 3 times a night. Rock the Bells, Yankee Stadium.
Oh my.
Okay, probably the last thing that was super iconic for me was when Wu-Tang performed.
Yeah.
So they did their anniversary in August.
Yo, Wu-Tang has to come to South Africa, boys. Yo.
And it was all the members.
Yeah.
And then Danny Hastings is a legendary photographer. If you're not familiar, he shot so many record album covers in the 90s, from like J. Rue to Mobb Deep to Nas. Like, Google him.
Yeah.
So I got to assist him on the Wu-Tang shoot.
Wow.
So that was like epic for me because it was like all the members just like all together again and then performing afterwards.
Yeah.
Everyone just loving each other.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Despite whatever, you know, a big tribe, there's always going to be like disputes and blah, blah, blah. But despite anything that's ever happened between any of them, they were just like, it was like family love celebration. Oh, wow. And you know Capadonna came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Capadonna came here. Yeah. That was another great experience because we took him to walk with the lions.
Yeah.
Well, Boogie from the Arsonist came with us. He got bit by a lion.
Oh, he tried to milk it the best way he knew how.
He literally got bit by a lion, but he was like provoking it. And we were like, yo, chill out. The lion like grabbed him. Luckily, he's like muscular, so he like flexed. But yeah. So to this day, whenever I see Cap, we look at each other. We're like, Lion King.
Lion King.
We always
He tried to milk a lion the best way he knew how.
It was crazy. But yeah, so that was definitely one of my recent epic experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, this year also, in the beginning of the year, you know, Dave from Trugoy from De La Soul passed away.
Yeah.
So there was a huge celebration at Webster's Hall.
I wish I was there.
Wow.
When I saw that online, I was like, yo, if there was ever one concert I want to be at, De La Soul.
It was like everyone showed up. No one got paid. Everyone showed up to like show love.
Do you even see Queen Latifah rapping?
Yeah, she
like
was there.
on that tip with Moni Love.
yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
got flicks of all that. Dave Chappelle rolled through, Common,
Yeah.
Q-Tip,
Yo.
Quali. Oh yeah, Quali was another experience in South Africa that was amazing. Took him to walk with the lions too, but we didn't actually walk. They were scared, so we were in the cage.
Tell me, guys. What's up with guys we knew as producers now DJing? Yeah, like they drop production, now they get into DJing, especially when they get older.
It kind of goes hand in hand.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Like,
because even when we sampling, it's kind of like the same
Eric
thing.
Simmons,
It's like you're on the deck.
DJs.
And it's like the love for the
Yeah.
beats
sound.
and
You know.
It's like when you think about DJ Premier as well, like his production, like I don't know what to call it, like his strength in production is with the whole DJing and the scratching of the turntables.
Yeah.
So
It's synonymous. It kind of is married to each other one way or the other.
My G. When I saw DJ Premier actually conducting an orchestra, like it's like, okay, so producer to DJ to actually conducting an entire 40-piece orchestra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what do you say?
Yeah, man.
Everything.
Incredible.
It's just creativity.
I was speaking to Rashid, and he asked me, "Yo, I think it would be dope to ask the guys this question. Like, how did you or do you price your beats?"
I don't know.
Like, is there an industry standard way or per you? Is there a threshold where you can't exceed this, no matter how in demand you are, or what? How do you say yesterday's price is not today's price?
I think also, you know, I don't know whether to call it relevance and also just kind of like, you know, it's like, I'll use Amapiano as an example.
Yeah.
When Tyler ICU created Mnige, yesterday's price was not today's price. And that sort of governs kind of like the value. And because also it has a lot to do with, you know, the arts that we're making. More than anything, there'll be money generated by the arts. It's not me just saying that, yo, you need to give me this big sum of amounts just because, you know, I'm the hottest thing out. It's basically just like an equation based off what we're looking at as far as like the money that's being made by the art. So you incorporate things like royalties, publishing, and you think about the fact that, okay, maybe there's now brands that want to get involved with this particular song. And you know that producers usually get closed out on such conversations. So half the time, we spend a lot of time just trying to figure out how far is the song going, business-wise, and just trying to find a fair way to just get compensated as producers. So it's never like a fixed.
It's never fixed.
Nah,
like
it's
truly
never
speaking, it's like a balancing act between, I think, three things. It's time, energy, and resources or relevance. So if you can actually, the amount of time that you actually spend on something or how far you're gonna do it, the energy that you're gonna have to do to actually market the thing, and then the relevance, what market is actually out there that really wants to buy your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you manage those three things, then you can actually get a price, fair price. You just need to actually find your market or develop your own market. You know what I mean? Like if you've got 1 million people that are listening to you, why do you need a recording company for? You feel me?
Look, guys, I'm sure you got burning questions. Just, you know, whatever that you're thinking, curate it. You're gonna get an opportunity to ask questions over here. J Boogie, I didn't ask this question. Also, when you're doing this for the love, but the business side of it, how is that structured? I mean,
I'm a freelancer.
yeah.
So like Apollo Theater will hire me, or I shoot for the Universal Hip Hop Museum too.
Okay.
So that's like the museum opening in the Bronx. Hopefully, it was supposed to be next year, but I think it's coming the year after.
You
Just
told me
different clients.
about the museum in New York.
Yeah,
How's that coming?
it's slowly coming, but it's gonna be it's gonna be great.
Oh, we're not doing that as well.
Oh no, you guys are
This is
doing
dope.
great. Osmic's doing it's
Shout out to
beautiful.
Osmic for being the visionary.
Osmic!
Yes. This is a personal question for me because we are here talking about production. So I don't want us to lose track of the importance of being a hip hop producer. Here's the thing. I'm influenced by someone else's production. I'm a rapper. I can't produce. I'm introduced to a certain style or a beat that I would love to rhyme on. And you are a dope producer as well. Like when I say dope, meaning creative. You can have a signature sound. You can go as far, when we think of, even Keenan was a producer.
Yes, he was.
The one that kind of reminded me of Kanye in a sense that this guy is unlimited. He can do this style, he can do many things that you cannot box him to an era or to a style.
Yeah.
You are that kind of guy, right? Then I come as a musician and I only want one style. What do you think? Is that gonna hurt your, eternal brilliance of being a timeless producer? Now having to produce for what sells, or you having to sell your signature as a producer? Am I making sense with this question?
Yeah. I think the foundation to just get it right, firstly, is just to have a solid relationship where there'll be open-mindedness between the artist and the producer.
Say that again, man. Say
So
that again.
the foundation is that everything starts from the open-mindedness and solid relationship between the artist and producer, where they'll be open-minded enough to contribute ideas in a way that will create as much as possible rather than take away as much as possible.
Right.
So, like for instance, with how I produce, like if we were to get into studio, I'm not just trying to throw you on whatever is trending now just because we're trying to, okay, maybe we want to make some, right? But we're also trying to create art at the end of the day. We want to make something that's going to last a generation and contribute to the culture. So you've got your wisdom and open-mindedness and contribution to the art, just as I do. And the more we both contribute and have a trial and error to see what works, the more we come up with a better product. I believe that's how I also learned, that's how I grew as a producer, working with people like Keenan. Because he was all about that, trying to move the culture forward, moving the sound forward. Okay, cool. I hear we in the trap era, because at that time it was like, well, Michael made it, and like all that trap stuff. That's happening, cool. Watch the Throne and all that. How do we bring that towards South Africa? Then you get something like a Sim Dope, where it's like, you've got to Watch the Throne niggas in Paris sounding thing, but you've got an MXO sample going on there, to bring it home type thing. So, but open-mindedness is literally the foundation of being able to create something that is, trend-setting.
The same question goes to you because I've worked with you. When I came to you, I just took whatever you give me. I was one of those artists that believe that whatever you give me, you just know how to hit the right tones with me. But when it comes to having to work, the very same question on you, the dangers of now having to be limited because someone is coming like, I want a beat like this, and this is what they want. And you are also doing it just to get a little bit of money because this guy is paying you or whatever the case may be. What are your views on whether it hurts you to be as creative as you could be or the limitation of it because of even record companies like executives can tell you, we don't want that, we want this. And they keep on bringing people that don't exactly allow you to express you 100%. How do you work around with it?
Well, essentially, for me, it's like, in fact, for na ke mogodu Mondays in fact if you come through ke mogodu Monday in fact like re go gae like ke style saka. Why did you come here asking for steak when you know that I sell sushi? You know what I'm saying? like type of like thing, you know what I'm saying? So that is my style. So you don't bother me in fact like you don't bother me, but if now it comes to a point, no, actually, I've never really had that kind of problem because people don't actually they come to me knowing exactly what to expect. Yeah. So I actually don't even know how to answer that question.
Yeah. I think we can just give an opportunity for people to ask questions. We will pass the mic over to you. I think we can start with these two gentlemen over here. You will stand up and say your name and then ask a question. And yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is King Mono.
Good day.
Sure.
Yes, and greetings to everybody there. Yeah. I just wanted to find out, Tweezy, you uploaded a pack of beats online, right?
Yeah.
So if someone uses that beat, do they need to contact you and then for a way forward or anything like that?
Yes, so the idea, so for those that don't know, I have a beat tape series called the God Level series, right?
Yes.
So the whole idea was, I think also it was just a way to just find ways for the producer and the upcoming talents that don't have a way to contact people from like the industry inside to the outside, to find a common ground where, you know, we can reach out to the talented people that don't really have those connections. So I put the beat tape out in the sense of people could record on the music and then they put it out, right? And based off the traction and everything, I mean, naturally people will bring attention to the music. Like there's some artists, like there's a guy from Bloom, I forgot his name. Yes. He had a song called Party Till the AM that he used the beat from the God Level series 2. And it was a big song in Bloom to a point where I didn't even charge him money. It was a thing of, okay, cool, let's just get the publishing on lock. You get your split, I get my split, and then let's push it. And then we'll take it from there as we go.
Right. I'm asking because I listen to the tape, and there's a beat that I like and I'd like to use, but it's hard to contact you.
Oh, it's just a matter of sending an email.
Okay, so I can use the beat, send you the email with the song.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So that goes to everyone else. Like when you use the music, you just send me an email. I do listen to the music. Yes. And then we take it from there.
Alright, cool.
It's for the growth. I think that deserves an applause. Yeah. All right.
Good day to everybody.
Hola.
My name is Famous Benz. I'm also an artist myself. I wanted to ask you, Tweezy, what was the process of you like doing Sing Dope? Because that song was crazy. I always play it all the time.
Yeah.
I always wondered like, what really inspired you to like actually create that beat?
While you're onto that, Ed run Josie there as well. That's one of my favorite
Okay,
things.
cool. So not to seem as if I'm running away from the question.
Yeah.
Literally, like moments from now, there's going to be an event that's being done with Beatmakers Market, where I'll be doing like actual breakdowns of the productions, where I'm breaking down some dope, telling the stories of how it came about, going into intricate detail of the actual productions and stuff. So I'll put it up on my social media so people know Velaguti where it's going to be happening and stuff. I think it would be better if you would pull up to the event and you can actually experience the full-on breakdown. You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
You know?
Yeah. When is the event, if you don't mind me asking?
Flip. Right now at the top of the head, I won't even lie, I forgot. It's in October. I think late October sometime. But like I said, I'll put all the necessary information on my social media. So just, if you're not following me, follow me at all handles, Tweezy ZA, and all the information necessary will be out there.
And I just want to say this, you like Tweezy and AK, man, you are like Metro Boomin, Young Thug,
Thank you, sir.
Hey, what's going on with this mic? Yo! That's a question I didn't ask, but we'll come back. You producers, I know that Dr. Dre is finicky with which rapper raps on his beats. Did you have that phenomenon there? Nah.
Did
It's
you?
not meat in the grade. You're not the...
Dude, no, yeah. Shapa fella,
Yeah.
Shapa fella, because like, to tell the truth, I think for me, it's more like, it's training and more like exercise, you know what I'm saying? Because like me, I make the beat as if like I'm gonna rap on it. So if somebody else actually appreciates it and actually makes it better, then that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But the real challenge then, which I really do love, is when like somebody that's completely whack. So I make a hit out of that.
Oh yeah.
That for me, that's what I like to actually do, because like man, everybody that I've been working with has been completely amazing, but they're actually creating the style, creating certain things out of nothing. And that for me is like actually nice for me.
I think another interesting thing is, you know, not every artist is the same.
Yeah.
So you know how there's like, as far as like, you know, how people, what's the word? Like the masses, how they perceive certain artists, where they'll be like, maybe lyricism-wise, like this one is whack, you know, because they're not really lyrical, but they're more melodic and they're more catchy and stuff. Artists are different, and the more time you spend with artists in the studio, that's where you get into the process of coming up with something new.
Something else, yeah.
It's like thinking about Pitch Black Afro and like DJ Cleo. They came together and they made an album that even went to South Platinum. I don't know if it's the first.
It was no. I can't remember. He had the mixtape. He had mixtape, the street tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he brought it through Go SAPC, Go Metro. And here's Lance. Lance immediately after he heard Ntwena King, Yona Pitch Black Afro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Called him up. The very next week they were done with the album.
You get me?
One toilet. They were done completely. Pitch Black Afro, double platinum next month.
And this is coming from a producer that's known to be a house dance producer also.
Actually, that has never been a phenomenon where a guy from the other side having to produce for a hip-hop artist and all hip-hop heads loved it.
You know.
So that was the brilliance of DJ Cleo. Shout out to him.
Yeah, holla.
Hands up, we're gonna come to you. J Boogie, I didn't ask you this. Is there another J Little Boogie that you are raising, like as far as the art of photography?
Like a mentor.
That you mentor,
I mean, there's
Part of one.
but there's not a specific one.
Yeah.
I still have mentors too, like Ernie Paniccioli, Joe Conzo.
Yeah.
They're like the legendary photographers that have shot since the 70s, 80s, 90s. I started in the 90s. But yeah, there's new generation people in New York that I'll take under my wing. You know what I mean?
For continuation, man.
Exactly.
You guys, do you have guys that you mentor as well?
Well, I think
Like literally, you are focusing on this one, you see something special and you are like raising them up.
as far as my experience with mentorship, it's like when I was coming up, I think it's just based off the personal relation and how you get along with the other person. You know, like my mentors, it was a thing of them sort of being inspired by whatever it is that I'm doing, or maybe they just need, in fact, to come to the studio. We need this 808. There's this 808 that you're using, and we need it for this particular song.
Yeah.
And you're also going to the studio, or you need the OG. You're not shy, because some people, you know, they don't use their resources enough in the sense of calling up the OG. Yo, OG, I'd really like to, you know. So it's relationship based, I think, with my experience, and yeah.
Doesn't?
Benji, Saudi.
Yeah.
Benji getting Saudi yeah, like for me, I wasn't really a mentor. Like this guy was actually he was kicking my ass basically. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like, you know, friendly battle. Like in actual fact, it's like more like, you know, friendly competition type of
Iron
like
sharpening
thing.
iron.
Sharpening iron. You know what I mean? So therefore, it's not even like a mentor, because like the kids know a lot more than I do, my G, at any point in time. You know what I mean? So I need to actually be humbled by that fact, like to actually like process a kid now. Dog, there's nothing more that you can do with kids these days. Google, done, you're finished.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
All right, heads up. Who's got the next question? There's quite a few. Who went first? Let me go here. This gentleman over here. Then I'll come to you two guys, and at the back, then we'll be done. We'll be calling it a day.
It's 1811 Zesta. So the question I'm asking is, so we're living in a different age, right? So on the net, there's loops, pegs, and all that, né? So you as a producer, né, do you like see producers who use loops from the net with the same respect as the ones who create their loops? Or the ones who do loops from the net, are they less of a producer in the game or what?
Music is music at the end of the day. I mean, it's no different to us taking actual records and sampling it to make beats. You know, kind of like how they used to say that Kanye West isn't a real producer. But when you go into the way that he actually samples, because his sampling is like, that's like my one, like, mentor of sampling in a sense. Because it's not just the thing of, yo, you remember this song? I'm just putting now new drums and whatever the case is. He's creating an entire new, it's artistic, and it's like his own thing that not even a lot of people can replicate. So even with loop makers versus loop users, if I may call them that, loop users, I mean, the whole excitement with this new age of creating loops and everything is having different perspectives in the sense of creativity. You know, you could create one loop and you'll have an amapiano producer creating the next smash thingy, amapiano. And you have a hip hop producer creating, whether it's trap or boom bap, and there's so much potential in the sense of the art that can come from this one loop. There could be an entire album from one loop. It can be it could be 100 singles. Out of 100 singles, maybe there's 20 hits, you know. And from the economical sense, for the producer of the loop, they've got so many opportunities from earning now from this loop. So I think we should spend more time encouraging people to not only create loops, but to encourage the entire just ecosystem of people using loops and just creating that whole thing going
Moving with
for
time.
the sake of the culture.
Moving with time.
Pardon?
Moving with time. I'm saying it moving with time. Because the old ways, pure production and sampling is just moving with time.
Yeah, pretty much. So using loops is no different to sampling according to me.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, like to take it to, also someone, if you've got a question for J Boogie, photography, please feel free. Let's go to the man with the bucket, Ami.
Oh, sure. Greetings, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. I'm from the Val.
Sure.
I'm a hip-hop head. I've been a hip-hop head for quite a long time. And I would like to direct a question to Dome. So, Baba, how do you feel about maybe I can say the death of the Sunday sessions, Zasisuit, like your Slaches, Splash Jam, 1808, because I think those were quite significant. And what are you willing to do or planning to maybe revive them? And last question also maybe it can be directed to Mr. Salvin. Same question about Hype Magazine. How do you feel about the death of Hype? Do you think there's a need for an alternative publication on print? Sure.
Yo, those are some good questions.
Very good.
Yo, Bijak, time for writing. Look, I think basically it's a community issue because like Goslachis, it would be like probably the fourth time that whole area got renovated, and then and I think that the fifth time was Sarai cleaner plaking fit. People were bringing in the bricks. We brought in bricks from our house. That whole thing in J got cleaned out. You know what I mean? So the space is there. It's all about community building. So if the community can actually start conglomerating around these spaces, you know what I'm saying? Then they can actually self-sustain themselves, you know what I mean? So just like this place over here, dog, like, come on, like this is amazing. So what else can we do that actually has to actually come through to the neighborhoods? Make sure the neighborhood keeps it sustaining. There's a lot of issues that go along with it. In fact, the municipalities had problems with it. There was a lot of things. You know, Bichak, like imagine, we were cleaning out we were taking out signages. To the signatures. The one neighbor said, no, ngono di roto than humamela luna by hip hop.
Wow.
Wang tall. So essentially it's like the community, but then as soon as like it got cleaned up, they were like, no, cool, yeah, sharp. You feel me? So it's a community thing. So as long as like we can build up the community, the 1808s must come back, because like that's where all the talent actually comes from. Everybody comes from that, from the dust and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
If I were to add on that one, maybe you can come in and give your sentiment as well.
Not much. I share the same sentiment.
Yeah. All right. So let me put it like this: we need a lot of leadership for those type of establishment. It's easy to be able to. How does a guy who opens an establishment, sells alcohol, has half-naked girls in a neighborhood where people are conservative, but all they get is a clean neighborhood, and they put a lot of security guys just to take care of guys or ladies walking community. From the guys who own those clubs or establishments, those guys were thinking, how can we be creative to get favor from the community? But they come organized. So most of these establishments, they were out of love. It was as if you were freelancing it. If you feel like, nah, I don't feel like doing it today, someone else must do it. No blueprint was left. No economics came out of it. And you could see the potential, but it didn't have a 10-year vision, which is where we're struggling from. So the answer to that question is not even from guys who have already opened the platform, is from you. You must come and say, I have an idea. Yeah, clap for that. We need to pump you guys. Like on Monday, we're talking to the fans themselves. They are too entitled. They don't want to take risks. They don't want to push an agenda. And that's why we are here saying that even with the evolution of 40 years of hip hop, here's an agenda. Hip hop is everything. Do everything about it. If hip hop is everything, clean the neighborhood and say hip hop, clean the neighborhood. If hip hop is everything, come up and put specialists who will deal with bipolar and say hip hop is dealing with bipolar issues. If hip hop is everything, say there's business that is being run. But we want to come to conferences or sit-ups like this and we just talk and talk and talk. And the world is looking and they say, hey, South Africans, they like talking, no action. You know, so let's do something about it. That's a dope question. Let's do something about that. Now, same answer goes with publication. That when we were called, 4 people say, you guys have content. And by this, there was a deadline. But this time, we're expecting either music, some publication to come out. Here are the artists. They're here. Someone here must have there must be a photographer. There must be someone who loves, who's got the skill of writing, editing, and all that. Put your heads together from that magazine. There's content, you know? So yeah. We're gonna go to you, and then the lady here, and I have to stretch it. I have to cut one of you, the guy with the black bug hat. So it starts with the gentleman with the sunglasses, white frame, and my sister over here. Then the last one is the dude with the, Did you get it? It will go like that. From you, it goes to this lady and the guy with the black bug hat. Thank you.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? My name is Stone. Tweezy question. I'm a Day One fan, man, from like Ghetto Prophecy. I just wanted to find out, man, if can we ever gonna hear like a new Ghetto Prophecy like project, you know, Like, is Ghetto Prophecy ever going to come back again?
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Ghetto Prophecy is like the group I started rapping with. Yeah. And that's like where my hip hop culture sort of was, you know. Yeah, I groomed that, you know. So I think it would be cool, you know, if all the three of us, so if all three of us, two of us, I'm sure, are really down to do it. If we can just convince the third person to get involved, then I'm sure we can make it happen. Away.
Shout out to them. Away.
My sister over here? Or my sister first? Yeah.
Joints, my G.
Wait! Whoa, what am I seeing?
Exactly.
I'm cruising out. Hey, you got pretty eyes and shit.
Hey, dog, it's 2023, wow. It's 2023.
Yeah,
you should ask the pronouns
Howdy.
It's 2023.
It's the strobe light, nigga.
Just to clear things up, I'm not a cis, I'm just a young pretty boy. Looking pretty and shit. So my name is King Future Mfana, and I'm an event organizer. I'm more involved in the fashion part of the culture. My question is to Uche Boogie. I just want to know, do you feel like as content creators, photographers, you're doing a good job in documenting the culture at the state it is right now? Because looking at hip hop when it started, everything was like well documented. We knew about Africa Bambata, where it started, about Cool Herc, about Grandmaster Flash. We knew those names. And looking at the hip hop scene in SA, our Osmic did a very good job, because some of us didn't even have cable like that, like at DSTV, Sugekasi. We saw that thing on SAPC 1. Like we knew every Sunday there's a documentary about the culture. But then I'm a product of the 2014 hip hop wave. Like I was in grade 6 looking at Hype magazine, like damn, seeing Casper Nyoves, the AKA and Casper beef, like it was well documented to the point that every week we had something to talk about. We knew which dance move was the coolest. We knew about Tweezy from that wave. Everything, we saw the faces. Everything was well documented. But then now, moving into the internet wave, I feel like everything is like dying out a bit. It's a bit getting diluted. I don't know if I'm saying the right words right now. But then the same way we were able to document Ngama VHS, and then through that 2014 wave, I feel like we need a community, Yago internet for us, I'm a hip hop kids, strictly young hip hop kids, like to communicate and like share our content, because majority of us in this room have like iPhones. We can take the content ourselves. We just need a way to publish, to put it on.
So the question is?
The question is, does J Boogie feel like they doing an enough like span to document the whole culture at its state right now? Like, are they doing a good job at like creating the whole thing and putting it together?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's who doing a good thing?
I think it's trying to say, when you look at how the culture was documented then, and you're looking at the current state, do we have enough J Boogies?
I mean, sometimes I think there's too much content now that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, exactly. But it's obviously in the eye of the beholder, you know what I mean? I think there's more content now than there are artists. So I think being a content creator is a beautiful thing, but seeing it as an art form, more as I'm creating content and I'm blowing up on Instagram, or I'm making, like seeing it as an art form is very important, in my opinion. Because anyone can create content. But if you take your content, put your twist to it, you know, a meaning to it, a story to it, whatever it is, I think that building a community like that is very powerful. Because, you know, I mean, I don't know here, but in the States, there's so many content creators. And like half of them are just doing whatever, like, so quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Okay.
What it
So
is.
when you do, if you do, are you a content creator or
Yes.
aspiring? Yes.
Nah, I'm more of an event organizer.
Okay. So yeah, I would say continue to create content, but just I haven't seen your content, so I don't know if you're artistic about it or you just. But like, just look at it as an eye of art. You know what I mean? Like when you see someone walking in the room and they're about to perform, whatever. Like, look at it as a story, an eye of art, rather than just like I'm capturing that and I'm posting that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need people who would be able to capture and just bring something special about a simple thing.
Yeah.
But then it carries more weight into that. Thanks for that question, by
Yeah,
the way.
that was a
That was a dope
beautiful
question. Thank you, sir. Events, ne? Ubokhuluma nabo Ozmi, kunama internship, you know.
Selvin, can I say something right now to what he's saying right now? It's because for content creators right now, it seems as if like I don't know if you're gonna ask this question, but the real elephant in the room is AI.
Yeah.
So therefore, genuine art is going to be replaced by people that are just gonna like have an opinion on King Leonardo AI and
No, literally AI. You could just be like,
you can be
say
like,
what you want,
say
and
what
it
you
makes
want,
it.
and then it just happens.
I'm not into it. But
So exactly. So genuine artistry, I think, is actually gonna come through. It's gonna be more valuable. I think so. So that's what I'm actually not even hoping for. I actually know that because
timeless.
and it's gonna be timeless. You know
You
what I'm
can't
saying?
fast track human connection. You
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's better if you can send me an email, but if I'm face to face with you, it's a different thing. So I think for content creation, that will never die. You
Yeah.
can't change that spirit.
Look, value
of-
that.
Yeah.
Value the human experience
Yeah.
of what you're doing. So even if people will put stuff on like from a computer or whatever, but as soon as like you value yourself and you know your time, energy, and resources or relevance, TER, as soon as like you can actually capture that, you can put
It's
a
like a
price
homemade
anyway.
burger and a fast food burger. If like a chef to someone who does microwave food,
Yeah.
there will always be some AI is
difference.
microwave.
There's
Yeah.
There's
a
like
difference.
I would like us to go. You were saying
No,
something?
no, go ahead.
All right. To the gentleman at the back right there, and then we call it a close. There will be just closing remarks, and then we call it a day. To you, yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Is there a sister here?
Yeah, I'm a peasant. Listen, I'm a peasant.
Why?
Yo, I'm
Give it to her. Let her say something.
Can I
we have
pass
men
it?
talking. Just give her the mic, and then you'll come through, sir.
Okay, cool.
If you don't mind.
Ladies first.
Come on.
Ladies first.
Yes.
Hi, I go by Laura, right? Okay, so my question is to the production team people. Okay, so like, like music obviously is divided into like the business side of it and obviously the work and the artistry side of it. And then on podcasts, you often hear artists crying about like how they got bad deals and whatnot. So as producers, is there like a common way where you guys have your own offering? So like in the contract sense, like have you seen that, or is it something that you do? So like when businesses approach you, can you counter offer with your own contracts? Or are you always at the receptive end? Like, are you always the ones who are getting contracts and signing? Or do you guys have your own type of, I don't like this contract, or I have my own, so could you guys also kind of like negotiate according to my terms or whatnot? So you're not always at the end where you feel like you're being the victim or taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
There's an undertone on that question. She's asking that question, then there's another thing that she's saying without saying it.
Well, Mina personally, I do have my own contract, with the team that I work with, so the whole point is to just come to a common ground where we can both agree. Obviously, people that will take advantage will try manipulate their way around to just getting their way around to, but at the end of the day, it also goes back to value, People really respect value, especially if there's something to get out of it. So even if they do bring, you know, the contract towards you, it'll be something that's in your favor because they don't want to play themselves, type thing, you know. But it's always a good idea to learn about how the industry operates, you know, understand like the standard procedures, set kind of like your what makes you happy, and then in negotiations and in conversations, then you can come into a common ground where everyone is happy.
Any other comment? And then to you, brother, then we close.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good. My question is directed to J Boogie, right? So I heard you say that you've been working with the likes of Nas and Wu-Tang and all of that, right? So I'm an old hip hop head, right? I prefer like old school hip hop, like Pac, Big Pun, you know, Immortal Technique, all those type of people, right? Right, perfect.
Yeah.
But I still love trap stuff. I still listen to it and all of that. So my question is to you: what are your thoughts about the current trajectory of hip hop now, as opposed to back then, where there was like a message, there was awareness being raised in the music? Now it's more like lifestyle and, you know, just you know, being cool and all of that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm an OG, old school head. Like I'm a Generation Xer. I'm kind of like stuck in the '90s, early 2000s. I keep up with some of the stuff nowadays, but like I said, quality over quantity.
Right. So do you think like are we heading towards the right direction as hip hop, as the culture, and like all of that?
I mean, cause there's still like I'm not gonna say real hip hop shit, but real hip hop shit.
Right.
There's still like elements of it, and I love that hip hop's evolved so much. But I just feel like the message has gotten lost in a lot of different artists, because there's a lot of this just talking about bitches. I mean, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
But like in the States, there's so much violence and so much debauchery and sexualization and just stuff that the youth, I feel like they may be a little lost because there isn't a message.
Right.
Because they're following what media is showing.
The trend.
What the money's, like how the money's coming in. You know what I mean? Like women are half naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they can flow, but it's like focusing on the talent has gotten lost a lot. There's still amazing artists out there, don't get me wrong, but I think a big chunk of it is just media, money, you know, quantity.
All right, just one more thing. I totally agree with what you say, right? So I feel like the States, right, is like the epitome or the standard of what hip hop should be like, right? So if you guys, like, you move from being more about the message and just being like what you say about the bitches and like riches and all of that, right? So because you guys are gonna shift from being about the message, about being, you know, our like awareness and all of that, and you go more to like the lifestyle and the trap, we're gonna imitate that because you guys are like the standard of what hip hop should be like. You know, not to say that we don't have our taste or anything like that, but yeah.
So, wait, I'm kind of confused at the question.
Well, I think what he's trying to say is America has been so... Yo, Rashid is in the building. My co-host.
He like snuck in, slide.
There was a magnet that pulled him. He had business to take care of, but he's here.
I had gang of radio interviews today. Yeah, I just came from one right now.
No. Much love, much love. I think what he's trying to say is that you raised the standard. You have raised the plateau of where we can pick up. So if the people that have raised the plateau seems like they're dropping the standard to what they introduced us to, it's as if we're also going to follow suit. So that's the concern that he's trying to bring, and he's trying to say, do you think what he's depicting is true, or you could say something about that?
No, I agree with him completely. Yeah.
I disagree though.
Can I say this? Selvin. DJ Ebro. Hot 97?
Yeah.
He went online and said, look, recording companies are losing interest in hip hop the way that it is currently right now because it's very depressing and everything. They'd rather invest in in Afro beats
Yeah,
and Latino music and Latin music. You know what I'm saying? So that is the current state of what it is right now in America.
Yeah,
So,
Afrobeats are huge.
Yeah, Afrobeats are huge. Like Nahana Fetu, but when about Alema Piano Gadako states in Fetu Honano, that's what these people are actually on right now. So you need to, understand some way.
Yeah.
How things are actually evolving.
Yeah, which is what I was gonna say. And here's the man who I love his mind when it comes to things like that. We are the focal. We need to shift our mindset, especially here in South Africa. We shouldn't be shy that the world is looking at us. We are the coolest destination, culture, creative, bright rainbow. Even our ethics. They might argue, and there's other things that are wrong, but the way and the beauty of having lions and zebras and all that to the world adds to that. But our understanding of music, it is our time to take advantage of, especially what Dome has said, that if we bring Afrobeat or Mapiano and we swing it, we can still put elements of hip hop into it. It will still be the very same quality that America has brought us to that. Because our story is different. Our demographic is different. Our problems are different. So those who are authentic, our lifestyle is Ubuntu more than anything. So we can use those elements to really come out. We don't need to drop the standard. So yeah, man. Rashid.
He's getting mic'd up.
1, 2.
Yeah, no, here's a mic. Come here.
I think I have a mic now.
You got a mic. You got a mic.
Oh, I like your
Yeah. This is Cool Herc, the guy who started hip hop. Yeah.
Dope.
In 1973. 11th of August.
Feedback.
Damn, dog. You got the receipts.
Yeah, you were saying?
I love what Tweezy, I love what Dome had brought earlier on. We are coming to a close. I know you just come in.
Yeah.
But they brought a point to say, one, do not limit yourself on times are changing. Learn how to adapt, especially when I asked the question about why is it that producers seem to have a cutoff thing.
Expiry date.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Yeah.
And they say, it's because sometimes you were not boxed, but this was the time and era that you came with a certain sound, and sound is evolving. So learn to either adapt or be a mentor to someone. And J Boogie was also expressing the importance of how beautiful it is to have a moment like this, and she came and she probably, for example, took a pic and said these were beautiful people that she met, and the whole world will be exposed to this moment. That hip-hop needs to also prioritize.
Did she tell you she was at the Wu-Tang concert?
Dude, she told us she was at the Wu-Tang, the De La Soul, when Dave was having a memorial, and all that, Nas is a friend, you know, all that stuff. So, things that are iconic.
Yeah.
We need that in hip-hop.
Check your Instagram.
I follow her.
Yeah, she's
so
with
you need
all
to
these
I
people.
told him to follow her as well. And here's a legend over here. He spoke his mind that, you know, you need to be more open-minded, be free. Do not allow yourself to be the person that pulls artists just because you feel you are this standard. Just let people who come to your space be able to express themselves. Am I saying it correct? That's what we covered, right? Yeah, so what do you
I think it's the same thing we spoke about yesterday, like boxing yourself or get stuck into an era. You know, I don't see any reason why DJ Premier can't produce a hit song for Lil Baby unless he's stuck into a certain era or a certain sound. You know, so that's a problem with a lot of producers. You know, I saw Pit Rock is coming back, but he's coming back with Common, like it's two guys from the 90s. You know, I want to see Dome coming back with Nasty C. You know, not trying to, you did Pro Kid, that's fine as well. But don't get stuck into that. You know, can you do something with Aries or Nasty C?
Of course.
I think that's a problem with a lot of producers. Yeah, they get stuck into an era or into a sound.
But don't you think it's also the artists who are not that open-minded, or they're so fixed into one idea as well?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, cool, Dome is open to work with A-Reese, but is A-Reese open to work with Dome?
Yeah, it has to be like that. It has to be like that. But you have new guys. I'm gonna use the US as an example.
Okay.
Griselda, Westside Gun, and them.
Oh, Benny the Butcher and them.
Yes, they doing that boom bap, but they using new boom bap producers. They're not going back to Premier or Pete Rock or whoever was hot in the 90s. You know, where is the problem? Where's the problem in that? Because they still doing the same boom bap. Is it I'm gonna get a cheaper or a free beat from my homie instead of paying Premier?
I'm working with what I got.
You know what I mean? So,
you know,
There's that. There's that.
But yeah, I feel you, Khutman. Like, I just think, I guess with the new generation, that should be the mindset where they, you know, when we're speaking of open-mindedness, instead of now having to go after Tweezy to chase a hit or something, now it's a thing of, okay, cool, you know, there's, you know, TikTok, Futi, the nice thing with social media is that there's a pool of creatives and people that do the same thing. And I think now we need to gravitate towards now building a community in social, it's like doing such things on social media, where now we're exposed to like an open market of people who do the same thing.
Do we have producers in the house? Yeah. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say to you. Like, don't think money now. I don't think he charged AKA the first time he gave him a beat. I don't think he charged Pro Kid the first time he gave him a beat.
Oh, hey, hold on.
Wait.
I knew Don was gonna do that.
I'm getting somewhere.
I get where you're going.
I'm getting somewhere.
Sure.
Get someone that you believe in, that you can grow with, who can build your brand as well, and then you can come back and say, my beat is 25K. You know, but you can't say my beat is 20K or 25K without a track record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Rashid, here's what I'm gonna say. Thank you for that. But here's what I'm saying. Like, you know what? It costs to be the boss. You know, you need to go through the blood, sweat, and tears. Dude, I used to actually pay Squatter Camp to actually make beats for them in their studio and gave them beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So essentially, dog, that kind of process is where you actually find and you
I know, you did that Zogulandela with Squatter Camp.
Yeah,
I remember
I know, that one they paid for.
Yeah. Oh, you were big already.
Yeah, there was Gallo. Gallo was involved now.
Already. Yeah.
They had to cut the check.
Yeah.
Guys, we are coming to an end. It's been wonderful.
I went to the same school with this guy. I never got a free beat.
I'm sorry, dog.
Listen. I would like, in this, we switch it up. Every time we always have the last word from the panel. But we would like to have a last word from any of you. Meaning, don't make a speech. It's just the last word to encourage even us, or whether you appreciate or you have a comment, but speak profoundly. If you've got something that we can take home, please, you're waving your hand. Please give him the mic. Yo, Rashid, nyanga bizale outlay sister.
Hola. Mic check 1, 2, and 2. Rashid and the whole damn crew. Hip hop is alive. First of all, thank you. Thank you guys for what you're doing. Thank you for bringing back to the city back. Tatom, I'm scared to even look at your shades, my bro. Never mind your eyes. Selvin, Jesus Christ, you raised us, my bro. You raised me, my bro. You raised me. Pratom, one thing is shy people fananela, because one day is one thing.
One day I'm gonna get it. Rashid K. Oh no, before I get to you, Queen J, it's an honor to have you in our land.
I'm honored.
You brought hip hop home. To
She
us.
comes every year for Back to
You're
the
an
City.
elder.
Last year she was she's been coming here for 8 years.
Jesus of Nazareth. Rashid, I've got nothing to say. What I would like to tell, and where's Osmic, guys? The king of this fucking culture.
Osmic.
Please tell Osmic that he's kept us alive for the last how many years?
17.
Thank you.
Yeah, no
And we are still alive. And we are still alive, and we still keep making music. We're changing the sounds, like you said. We're changing the moves. We're changing the dress code. We're bringing the lock drum to the hip hop.
To the world, to the world.
But for you kings sitting there, you are, and Queen, let me not be sexist, and Queen, you guys are custodians of something that when you started it, I'm sure you didn't know what was going to happen. This is it. This is us. Siabo.
Nice. Can we close it here?
There's a hand here, there's a hand here. Where's the mic?
They've been having hands before you got here. Can we close?
Okay, that's the last hand. That's the last hand.
All right, guys. What I want to say, this is amazing. And as an artist and as someone coming up as well, I'd love more of this. If this can continue, I think the culture will grow.
Yeah, it will continue. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
It will. We promise you.
And from here, everyone is going to Maboneng, right? It's going down. I'm from there. It's going down already. Yeah, so let's all meet there.
Black Pub. Black Pub, Old Poolside, Maboneng. Old Poolside, Maboneng.
Sisayo Tenders. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You'll be seeing more of what we have done over the 3 days. It wouldn't have happened without you, without an audience. Your energy is beautiful. My host, Rashid K, for the energy, the love. J Boogie, for being here. We're going to do amazing
J Boogie
work.
Love.
J Boogie Love.
My peers, my mentors in a certain way.
Yeah.
I just want to say something to Tweezy that 2030, be a curator of, or be the channel, be the Osmic in your own way. Where the world, you are a channel to every other, department in this music industry. You got it. The way you speak, your eloquence, your aura. Hey, it is beyond just being in the studio.
This guy did baddest, dog.
Dude, he did run chores.
This guy did all eyes on me.
Thank you guys, that's it, peace.
Sure. Shout out. Thank you for coming. Wow.
From the corners of the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. From the corners of the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. Back like proverb, microphone, sweet home. Back like battle, cattle, capital O. Faro Gotti flows, nigga killing all shows. Rashid K, a god, yeah, put that on the code. OG to a god, fact checking both. The realest in your click, dog, never come close. Legends on the cut, dog, piece of none cool.